Good day, flight simmers. Going to do a flight today in the Textron Aviation Beechcraft King Air 350i, and it's the 2nd of March 2024. So I think it was a patch done on this aircraft because I think I've done previous videos with it and I think it was working better, especially the flight plan on the primary flight display. Doesn't seem to want to load and show up properly, but at any rate, I created a flight plan using the world map for Microsoft Flight Sim, and also I duplicated that flight plan in little nav map. So basically what I did is I took the waypoints that were created in the world map by Microsoft Flight Sim and I just searched them. And you can search them just by going to the search box and typing in a waypoint, and if you type the waypoint in, and it'll show up, and you can just say add that waypoint to the flight plan. So basically what I did is I copied the waypoints that the world map and Microsoft Flight Sim did, and I picked the runway and the departure from gate, I think it's gate 2 here. So you're sitting right here. So I just copied basically this so I can follow it in a little nav map. I want to see how that works. So you can see we got to be careful here climbing out of here. It looks like our elevation is pretty close to the terrain. You get that just by turning this on. Alright, so I'm just going to close that window down for now. And we'll go back and take a look at that. We're leaving Sandpoint and we're going to fly to, I think it's Spokane, Washington. So the weather isn't very good. So I'm going to hit ready to fly. And what I'm going to do is just use the checklist to start this up from a cold start. So before starting engine, you can individually go through these. For example, click on that eyeball there and you can see that the parking brake is on. These should be set to idle. Your prop levers need to be max RPMs. And your condition levers need to be the fuel cutoff. You just pull those down. This is normally the way the plane is when it's just sitting there for getting ready. And once you turn your battery on, you're going to get ATC talking to you. So you just click on that when you get it highlighted.
Seattle Approach NASAir 616 IFR to Spokane, ready to copy.
NASAir 616 is cleared to Spokane Airport as filed. Climb and maintain 8,000 feet. Departure frequency is 123.905 squawk tree 4 tree. Clearance void 30 minutes from now.
Alright,
NASAir
8,000 feet.
616 cleared to Spokane Airport is filed. Climb and maintain 8,000 feet. Departure is 123.905 squawk tree 4 tree. Clearance void 30 minutes from now.
NASAir 616 read that correct. Good day.
Okay, for starting engines, turn on your right ignition. This should be on low idle. Your right condition lever. And then you're going to monitor it. When the right ignition gets to 50% N1 or greater, you can turn it off. So I'm just going to let it stabilize there. So you can turn that off.
Oral warning, okay.
And I want to put this on your condition lever to high idle. Let's go down to the next one. Right generator needs to be turned on. So you just repeat the same procedure for the left, and I'm going to let the co-pilot do that. So if you have in your assistant settings turned on that you can have auto complete page or assistance in your checklist, then you're going to be able to just hit autocomplete item when you click on and highlight it.
Left engine start.
There's the co-pilot's doing that. Let's just go outside and have a look here. That left engine should start. Hopefully this ground crew isn't really in our way. We're going to have to go up here and turn and go down to our runway.
Repeat procedure.
So I'm just letting that left engine get going there. You really should get page complete message if everything's working right, but I would say it's done. So after starting engine, let's just go inside. Make sure your throttle's on idle. I've got a Thrustmaster joystick and a Thrustmaster throttle that I'm using. So let's go inside the aircraft. And avionics, I'm going to turn that on. And then the lights, I'm just going to turn them all on. And we've got that parking brake on right now. Okay, so I'm just going to take a look at the situation. Got a little caution there. See, it says parking brake on here. Normally this is lit up red and beeping away if the parking brake is on, but for some reason it's not doing that right now. But you can see this is flashing. This is a PTOT cautionary. So let's go down Control 4 and turn on the PTOTs. Now the weather is cold and icy, so this is inoperative, but this one we can turn on. These are on, and we'll put this on. These are inoperative to prop test and the auto feather test, etc. So we can't do that. All right, so I'm just going to go up above here. Done with that for now, and we're going to do some stuff. I'm going to press Control 2, and I want to do the barometric pressure. Set that. All right, and I want to set the altitude at 8,000 for now. We'll probably have to go higher. See the mountains around here in the primary flight display, so I'll have to keep an eye on that for takeoff so we don't crash. Alright, so we got that done. Vertical speed, you can turn that on, and I can set that to climb. See it right here scrolling. If I just scroll on that wheel once you highlight it. So I'm going to climb at 1,500 feet per minute. The heading bug, you can line that up when you get ready for takeoff to the runway. So flight director we're going to turn on, the autopilot, the yaw damper. If you don't turn that on, you'll get a cautionary light coming on over here. Altitude will settle in once we reach the proper altitude. That's for your approach for your runway. This is your heading. This is your nav, FLC, vertical speed, and there's another flight director button over here. Alright, so let's see what else we want to do here. Go to the primary flight display, Control 1. Alright, click on here. I want to change that to GPS mode. And it's a touch screen, so you just press the screen in the middle. You press here, you get a split screen. And then I can go here to flight plan, and I can go to nav frequency. So we're landing on runway 21. So I'll show you in a little nav map why I like to use it, because there's the runway we're supposedly going to, and there's the frequency 111.10. So you would just enter that. And just hit transfer, not enter, but transfer. Now it's the active frequency. You click on there again, you get back to this screen. Now here, you should be able to see the flight plan that I created in the world map. But I don't know if they downloaded a new patch for this aircraft, but for some reason now, you're not able to see it. It's stuck on this. You used to be able to grab that and scroll. Now they'll probably fix that, but for now it's not, doesn't seem to be working like it used to. If we go over Control 3 to this screen here, we can back off, and we can actually see our waypoints in our flight plan. So at least they're in there, apparently. I'm just going to try this flight and see what happens. There's your torque, there's your ITT, and there's your prop. So it's telling me the parking brake's on. So I'm going to have to release the parking brake. And let's see if we got everything else done. I'm going to back primary flight display. Okay, so it looks okay. This is working fine. There's our waypoint and bearing, where we're headed and everything. That's your information across there. Your bearing, your distance, your estimated time en route, your ground speed. Right now is 0, of course. There's your transponder, automatically set. If you set up in your assistance to have the Copilot do the comm settings, that will automatically change, and so will your transponder will be set for you. Alright, let's go outside, and I'm going to release the parking brake just using the button on my joystick. We should start rolling immediately. I'm not going to worry about that guy. They're always in the way, it seems. Looks like he's going to get decapitated here at the airport. So we better get out of here before an investigation starts into what happened to that guy. So we got some rain coming down. Pretty heavy rain. This is real time, real weather that I'm using today. So this is just what it's like right now at this airport. Just take our time going down here and stop and get ready for takeoff. A few more things we got to do before we can take off. Boy, these guys are out in the pouring rain working. Alright, make a little turn here. Here's our departure runway. So these blue chevrons are turned on in my settings, assistant settings. Ribbons are called. Taxi ribbons. Okay, so I'm going to roll up here. Requested clearance for taxi, and ATC is being notified that we're ready for takeoff straight out. Runway 2. I'm going to stop here and put the parking brake on. Okay, I want to put the flaps down for takeoff. Alright, just go inside for a second, take a look at things. And now this heading bug, I can line that up with the nose of the aircraft. So now we're getting the warning that our parking brake is on. So I'll show you where that's at. Over here, just turn that off. Just for the sake of the annoying sound being silenced for a few minutes, but we got to remember to take it off before we take off. So everything looks good here. Barometric pressure, I'll check again. So it changed slightly. So we're going to have to hit this stuff as soon as we get in the air, so the autopilot can take over. The primary flight display, once again I'm checking, that's set. The altitude is, our vertical speed up is set, GPS is. Just back off here a bit and we'll line up that heading bug. Alright, so this is your approach button for when we get to our destination runway, and see if we can pick up the glide slope. Alright, so I think we're ready to go. Just going to go outside and let you have a look at what it looks like outside. Now there are windshield wipers on this thing if you want to turn them on. We'll see what it's like when we get up in the air. So I'm going to remove that parking brake and let's roll. About 115 knots is when we're going to rotate. We're going to pull up the landing gear and the flaps. We'll get a good rate of climb. See, around 115 you heard it's like a little chirp of the tires. Kind of cute and realistic. So I'm going to fly straight out here for a bit, and I'm going to bring up the landing gear and the flaps. You see my altitude here?
Seattle Center Nasser 616
Climbing.
is at 2,700 feet, climbing 8,000 feet.
Saying don't sink. So I'm going to go inside, see if I can put this stuff on.
11,000 feet, Nasser 616.
See if we can get this on in a hurry. Make sure everything's on and we're climbing.
WestJet 159er descend and maintain flight level 360. Jet 8557 descend and maintain flight level 350.
Just concerned a little bit about clearing the terrain here.
Descend and maintain flight level 360.
We're up to 44,200 feet right now. Let's take a look at a little nav
Alaska
map.
442 descend and maintain flight level 310. Descend and maintain flight level 350, jet 8557. Alaska 442 descend and maintain flight level 310.
So we're following our flight plan. The airplane's turning around to follow it. But we're not seeing it on little nav map, probably because it's not connected right now. Unless, let me go back here and see if the plane's showing up. No, it's not. So
Alaska 442
maybe if
maintain
I
flight level 310.
close it down and start it again, see what happens. So let's see if I can bring up little nav map again. There we go. So now you can see we're showing up in little nav map. So let's
Alaska
just
442 descend and
just
maintain
bring up
flight level 310.
our plane again. Let's go back down to our primary flight display. Okay, so we're chasing that needle, which is good, so it means it's following the flight plan. So here we are here, and because that's not working, we may as well just put it on map.
Alaska 442 descend and maintain flight level 310.
Yeah, it's not showing us on this screen. It is. So like I said, I basically just took a look at Microsoft Flight Plan World Map, the waypoints it created, and I just searched and put them into a little nav map. Alright, so we got very poor visibility here, that's for sure. I'm going to check the barometric pressure again. Make sure your landing gear is up. Make sure your parking brake is off. And your lights are for de-ice are on, your PTOT's on. So I'm just basically checking those things. I'm going to go Control 5 and go down here. We're going to put these on our engine condition levers to low idle.
WestJet 15909er contact Seattle Center on 119.225.
For the entire flight and even for landing. Our flaps are up. So the rest of the stuff is being taken care of by the autopilot.
Going to 119.225 WestJet 15909er. Nav there 616. Please expedite your climb 11,000 feet.
Okay, we're going to go up to 11,000. Now to go up to 11,000, I'm scrolling on the altitude dial till I get it at 11,000 right there. Then I'm going to hit vertical speed again as it turned off, and I'm going to scroll on that wheel so the aircraft will climb. And you can set your rate of climb. I got it at 1,300 feet per minute right now, or 1,200. Shows up in your little window here on your primary flight display. So here's your airspeed gauge. That's your true airspeed. Here's your altitude gauge.
Seattle Center Air Canada 540.
And your barometric pressure in inches. Got a compass here. There's the heading bug. Right click on that and heading bug points to the front in case you want to switch to heading mode. So barometric pressure we can check again. So Control 3 will give you this screen, and you can monitor your torque, your ITT, and props, and make sure you're not getting warnings that there's something wrong there. Your N1, your oil pressure, oil temp, and your fuel flow. So this is your multifunctional display screen, and primary flight display 1 and primary flight display 2 for the first officer. Let's go up here, back off. So here's a dial for your barometric pressure, but you can just press B on your keyboard. So I'm not sure how this is going to go. Let's have a look outside. So we're getting to 11,000. Whoa, a little bit higher, we'll be above the clouds. Well, we're still overhead here. So a good day for a ILS approach and landing, because the visibility is probably not going to be too good. Looks like there's a lot of rain in the area.
Air Canada 1048 climb and maintain flight level 370.
Go to the weather network.
Air Canada 1048 climb and maintain flight level 370.
Look at the radar. And go up to this area.
Jet
There's Spokane right there. Yeah, so lots of clouds here. It looks like it's clear right now in Spokane, so it might clear up really nicely. Just make sure you don't get into overspeed. If you're below 10,000, you need to be, you know, at that airspeed. Oh, we're going down to 8,000 now.
Descend and maintain 8,000 feet in SR 616.
Okay. Wow, that's quite pretty. I love the way they do real-time real weather in Microsoft Flight Sim. I think they told us to go down to 8,000. Anyway, I'm going to set it to 8,000. It's sometimes hard to get it back again, that actual window. I'll just go down to 8,000 here. Let me have a look here. Okay, so vertical speed down. Watch your airspeed. You may have to come back on your throttle.
119.225 SR 616. Goodbye.
Horizon Air 2270, descend and maintain flight level 290.
Descend and maintain 5,500 feet in SR 616.
5,500 feet. Okie dokie. There we go. I kind of missed what they said when I was talking to you. So you don't want to get your speed up too much. Hopefully we're going to have some clear weather here. This doesn't, I don't know. Yeah, I guess we're okay here. We're heading towards this waypoint right now. Unfortunately, we can't see that on here. I'll show you. Yeah, it's just, you just can't scroll on that like you used to be able to and see what your flight plan is. Anybody having the same experiences, let me know, or if there's any correction. There's probably a patch you can
Climb
get
and
or
maintain
something.
11,000 feet in SR 616.
What? You want 11,000 now? Okay. Okay. I'm going to go up to 11,000. Little strange up and down altitudes that we're getting from ATC. Didn't seem to make a lot of sense. Most of the time it's pretty good what you're getting from ATC. This flight seems a little wacky right now. We're climbing anyway. Watch your airspeed when you're climbing because you'll lose airspeed. So just increase your throttle. Let me just go outside and see what we got here. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, weather. Anyway, we're
Descend
climbing.
and maintain 5,500 feet. Expect ILS runway 21 approach.
Okay, they
VLS
want us to go
transition.
down
Clear
again.
to Lisbon SR 616.
All right, 5,500. All right. I gotta turn this off. Yeah. 5,500. You want to check your barometric pressure as well to make sure it's accurate. So we're going to go down. descend. I'm going to check that barometric pressure again. Just changed a little bit. So we're descending. Jeez, there's the glide slope. Down. We're above the glide slope. See that green dot there? So we picked up the localizer. So I'm going to put it on approach. See if we can get down to that, get that diamond right here. We'll pick up the glide slope. We should anyway. There we go. This has gone green. So is this. So we that means we've intercepted the glide slope. It's chasing the localizer right now to line us up at the runway. I'm just going to go outside and have a look here. So we're going to have to put landing gear down and our flaps for landing. You want to get your speed down in this zone here. The approach for this is about 104 knots. Just going to go and have a look at our descent right now. We are descending, so it looks like we picked up the glide slope way out, quite a distance from the airport. So just going to see what happens here. This has gone off because approach is on. And it's descending. So we're on a 3-degree descent, roughly, I would imagine, to the airport. So let's go look at this window right here and zoom in. You can drag with your mouse as well. So we're going to get to this waypoint here and then should be straight into the runway. Gotta watch my airspeed here. Yeah. A little too slow. It wouldn't be around 140, I'd say, for the approach. So while I was looking at other things, the airspeed went down, so I got that little warning. It's just a matter of increasing the airspeed. Just want to go inside again. I don't think we're going to be able to see very good on our approach here. So you can see we're at 6,500 feet right now. Check your barometric pressure. When I get right around here, I'm going to put down my flaps and my landing gear. We're still chasing that needle. We're not lined up for the runway, of course, because we're way out here. So it's flying over here. So now that I got my airspeed, there's a little green line here, sort of like giving me an indication of what airspeed I want on my approach here. So basically you want to check your instruments again. Make sure your altimeter is set. Just press B on your keyboard and that'll update it. Make sure everything looks good here. Flight director's on. Autopilot, yaw damper. Vertical speed is on. Approach is on. So we're lining up and in very poor visibility now. Once again, my airspeed's dropping on me, so I'll pay attention to that. We'll start screaming stall. Okay. It's a little harder to hear me when we're outside because of the engine noise. Okay, we've got a flash here advising us what altitude we're at. we're continuing to descend and we're lining up very nicely. And as long as that green diamond there stays for the glide slope right in that center line there, it means we're right on track for our 3-degree glide slope descent. Once again, we're getting a little flash advisory there. I'm going to check the barometric pressure again. Make sure that's always up to date. So I'm going to be putting our landing gear down shortly. So I got to get my speed down. There's our actual altitude above the ground right there. You know, above the runway altitude. So really, this is 4,500, but the elevation at the airport's quite high. So I am going to put landing gear down now. Just press G on your keyboard. You'll get that. She's down and locked. And we'll put some flaps down. And I'm going to put flaps down full when we get a little closer. So your airspeed, try and keep it around 110 at this point. 120 in that area, and we're going to go for around 104 on landing. So this looks really good. See, we're lined up perfect with the runway. We should be able to see the runway soon. Just cut my speed back a little bit, and I'll put some more flaps down. There's the runway now. So flaps down full. Cut my airspeed back, go inside, there we go. So there's my airspeed, around 100. Wow, pretty windy here today. I'm going to take the autopilot off and the yaw damper to land it pretty soon. I'm going to put the reverse thrust on when I get down on the runway, slow the aircraft down. I got a button programmed for reverse thrust. Reverse thrust hold, and just press that button. And we'll see what happens. Go inside for a second. There we go. Get my airspeed back a little bit more. So the autopilot's controlling everything right now. Except the airspeed. I'm controlling the airspeed. So the glide slope brought us down really nice, lined us up nicely with the runway. So we're at 500 feet now. So I'm going to go inside. I'm going to turn off the yaw damper and the autopilot. Try and land this thing myself. My speed down, so the autopilot should be off. Just try and bring it down as gently as you can. I got to get my airspeed back. Okay, nose down, and I'm going to put the reverse thrust on. And then take the reverse thrust off. And bring up your flaps. So we've got to get our taxi lights on, and we have to exit this runway at our first chance. So looking up ahead here, there's a spot here. Looks like the terminal's on this side. So that's the tower over there. So we'll go up here and see if we can turn. Looks like there's a spot to turn right up here. Yeah, so the plane still flies pretty good. You just can't get your flight plan in the primary flight display to come up anymore. I don't know if that's just me, first time I've experienced that, or if recently they did a patch for this aircraft, some kind of update, and it's not working perfectly, but still works pretty good. You don't want to go too fast when you're taxiing. I think 20 knots is supposed to be what the speed is. Just turn off here. See if I can get a gate. See if ATC is available here to give me a gate. I'm just going to come up and pull up to this marker here and stop. I'm just going to put the parking brake on for a second. Go inside, turn the parking brake warning off, see if I can get a gate. I'm going to put the taxi lights on. So, let's see, maybe they are still on. Yeah, should have turned them off after we took off. So, turn these off for now. Alright, PTOT, so I'll just leave this stuff on until I shut down. See if I can get ATC.
Spokane ground Nasser 616 taxi to the gate. Taxiing to gate 10 via taxiway Delta Alpha Nasser 616.
Okay, I've got a taxi to the gate, so I got to take the parking brake off, and we should be able to roll again. That's off. So these blue ribbons do help considerably in finding your way to the gate. See if I can bring a little nav map up. Yeah, a little difficult to do. I have to put that down and then just close this. See if we can see our aircraft here. There we are right there. see your progress on this if you bring up little nav map. Anyway, as soon as I bring up Microsoft Flight Sim, little nav map shuts off. I'll just try and bring it up this way. Here we go. All right. You see the wind is 17, 16, 17, 25, gusting to 25. You see it right up here in the little nav map. So it's pretty windy here today. So that was actually a very windy landing. The airplane handled pretty good in that wind with autopilot turned off. I'm just going a little fast here to get to our gate. So with this aircraft, you won't get a jetway, you won't get catering service or anything like that. It's too small an aircraft, even though it's a beautiful aircraft worth $8 million. So it's there's our blue box. When you turn on your ribbons assistance, those blue chevrons, you also get the box at the gate. And when you get in there, lined up correctly, it will it'll turn to sort of like a yellow color, from blue to yellow. I don't know if you're colorblind or not. So that's more like a yellow green kind of. So I'm just going to go forward, and then when you get to the right spot, the box actually all disappears. Let you know you're in the right spot. Alright, so I'll stop here, put the parking brake on. Alright, so gate 10. There we are, sitting at gate 10. So I'll close that down, and we'll go inside the aircraft, and we're going to make sure our parking brake is on. Yeah. And once again, that we're not getting that warning, so it's a little intermittent. Normally that's always blaring at you to let you know you got your parking brake on. But anyways, we've got to shut this thing down. So just go overhead for a second. I just turn off these lights here. Down below here, Control 4, and turn this stuff all off. The PTOTs we can turn off now. Getting a little warning on the PTOTs. Let me just go up above if that keeps going. Landing gear's down and everything looks good there. These lights are all off. Taxi lights we can turn off now. Let's see. Let's go to Control 4, Control 5. Alright, so we can do, we can turn these down to feather right now. Come right down here. And we'll turn this to, there we go. Engine condition off, fuel cutoff. Make sure that's down. Let's go up here. Control, well, let me just get up here and turn this little warning on. See, it's telling us that we've got the parking brake on, etc. Now we're getting the warning. Alright, so we got that. And so we're going to shut the avionics off, but just go outside for a second. You can see that the engines have shut down. Dangerously close to crashing into this big tug. But I had to go that far just to get that box to disappear, but I always find they take you a little bit too far in Microsoft Flight Sim. But I mean, our wheel is lined up pretty good with the end of this taxi line into the gate. Alright, let's go back inside. Control 4. And a few more things we can turn off here. So the generator switches, turn them off. The battery we turn off. Avionics, we're going to turn that off. And the battery, there we go. So there may be a few, in the real world there's a lot else to be done, but for Microsoft Flight Sim, that'll more or less do it. So let's go outside and have a look at the aircraft once again in the airport. Lots of vehicles here today. Probably one of them is going to be the vehicle to pick us up and take us away, because we're probably not going into that terminal. All right, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you learned a little bit about flying the Beechcraft King Air 350i in Microsoft Flight Sim, and also some of the little glitches or problems you can experience. But this is a pretty good aircraft to fly. Generally a very nice experience. And that was an ILS landing and approach, which is excellent for poor visibility. So take care. Catch you next time, Flight Simmers. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up and subscribe.